the next 3 years, I think we kind of learned to live with each other and get to know each other. We didn't want to rush to have children. I didn't believe that. That was something we both discussed, and we said we'll spend some time getting to know each other first before we had a child. Of course, both of us wanted children, right? And that was a mutual thing, right? Gerald, we decided we wanted.
We had dogs.
Yeah, we had dogs, yes. So we had 3 Dobermans and little small dogs. So most of the time we had all these Dobermans and had 3-4 dogs that we would take care of. And those were our babies, I guess. But we found it was important for us to learn to live with each other. Although we were best friends before, but living together is totally different, right? And all the little stupidness, leaving the toilet seat up and how to fix the toilet paper. Yeah, those are real things, right? Because I'm Miss Tidy. I like to, I remember when Kerwin came here, he was laughing, that everything neat, that's me. I have everything neat and organized, And so we had to learn to adjust each other. So we spent the next 3 years doing that, right? And in 1994, we had our beautiful daughter, Sarah, right? So Sarah is our only child. And I believe at that point, Sarah is what really kept our marriage together, Zach. Now those first 3 years, it was still in the crazy in love thing, and you had all the hyper, we now get married and we have our own home, and so I think all that's the excitement, and then we had Sarah, and I had a really a really rough time in my pregnancy. I was ill. From the 5th week I started to vomit until the day before I had Sarah, so that was until my 9th month, and I couldn't do anything. He had to learn to cook, and that's how Uncle Gerald learned to cook. And for the first 3 weeks though, because when we got married, I did all the cooking. Gerald couldn't do anything. I think all he knew to do was make some tea for himself. I think he said he could make a macaroni pie. I'm not too sure about that, right? But that's about it. So I did the cooking. Now he came from his mother's house and she used to cook right through. So when he got married, he just assumed I doing all the cooking, right? So when I got so sick now, I couldn't do anything, And he gave me sandwiches for 3 weeks straight, breakfast, lunch, dinner. And then it looked like he got fed up because he's not accustomed eating sandwiches 3 times a day. He getting food from his mother, right, all his life. So I had in the kitchen, I have a whole stack of cookery books. And Naparima girls had this famous book that everybody know about. And he took that and he started to learn to cook. And then, of course, he would call his mom. And I was really cooking. So I know you're asking who does most of the cooking. So when he started to cook, he said that his food is better than mine. So no argument there, Zachary. But we share the cooking, right? It isn't that good though that some days I know I would just say, Gerald, you cooking, I know we would need so and so, and he would cook, Days where he out gardening, I will do it, but we share. But a lot of times he does most of the cooking because he's cooked real fast, Zach. I will do maybe prepare one pot, and he would do like maybe about 4 or 5, kind of thing. That's how he is in the kitchen. So that was our early years. We had a lot of ups. So Sarah, we had a lot of ups and downs. But I believe Sarah kept our marriage together because I didn't believe in divorce. I came from a divorce home. My dad remarried 4 times. He had 4 wives, so divorce was not on the table for me. When I told you I left that relationship in Barbados, he was talking marriage, but I knew I couldn't get married to him, right? Because he was going down a different road from what I wanted. And when I chose Gerald, and I didn't choose Gerald, I really believe God chose Gerald for me. Because I wasn't even looking at Gerald like that, right? But the thing is, I knew that when I got married to Gerald, this was it for life. I was not getting a divorce at all. So in our early years, we really had ups and downs. Because of my childhood and all the past and everything, I was a real broken person when I got married. And I had a lot of history, a lot of past. Gerald didn't have any of that. You know, he was a sweet little, innocent little boy when I met him, you know. He didn't have none of that, you know, and he really tried to understand everything with me, yeah, but I think I was so broken, and I thought Gerald would have fixed all that for me. That's why when you get married, yeah, you look to your husband or the husband. In this case, it was me looking to him, for him to give me all the happiness and provide all the happiness. That, of course, now I know only God could do that, right? But at that point, I did. So you see how is it? He always thought I was loud and boisterous. That was his first opinion of me. Loud, boisterous. Well, he said I was crazy that day. Yeah, yeah. All of those things he thought about me. And so the thing is, I was always the aggressive person, as he said, and he was passive. I was the follower and he was the leader. So I mean, I was the leader, he was the follower. So I kind of wore the pants in our marriage, which I know now is wrong, right? But at that point, that's how it was. So of course that led to a lot of arguments and you know, but what I think kept us together right through was Sarah, and the point that in my mind, no divorce. And so whatever it is I had to do, you know, to keep our marriage together, I did. You know, but you know how when we would go, people say, yes, look how happy they are and whatever, this lovely couple. But they don't really know, really. Yeah, when people go out, just have a pretend face, yeah, and that you have, and we used to, yeah, look like the real happy couple. But I think inside, both of us used to be unhappy. Yeah? It's just that, as I said, Sarah was that kept us together. She was that glue that kept the three of us together. And in 2008, this was like 16 years into marriage, right? And I wouldn't say very happy marriage either, right? Gerald will give you that story, but that is when we got invited to come to Champion Dynamics, right? And there we heard, first week we went, so this was the 26th of February, Onika was preaching. So it's run, Champion is run by Pastors Kerwin and Onika Narayan. So this is the pastor's wife was preaching that night, and Gerald gave his life. And the second week, Kerwin was preaching and I gave my life, right? And that was the first time I think we heard the truth, you know, and really, Gerald will kind of go into that, but that was, I believe that was the turning point for our marriage, Zachary. You know, for this whole interview, everything that turned our marriage around was when we became believers in Jesus Christ. Yeah. And so Gerald will give you that because it's really he who took us there, right? So
you're getting to hear my side of the story now, right? You know they say three sides, yours, mine, and the truth. Alright, so mine is more in line with the truth. Okay? Now, but what she said more or less was accurate to a point. Yeah, she said some good stuff there, but she left out some pertinent things.
okay.
One of the main things was ailments from even young in the bank. She used to have these bad back problems. There's something called scoliosis. And she would go to these doctors and they would inject her steroids in her spine and all kind of dramas. And she was in real serious pain. One of the things that kept us back from having a child. So this doctor that she was going to, he told her that if she was to get pregnant, she would have real complications and he wouldn't recommend it right now. You know, and that was a real turn off for us. So we had to decide, you know, we have these dogs, continue minding dogs or what, but we had reached a stage in our lives, it was like 3 years after we got married, house finished, and two of us every afternoon in the evening time, after we finish all our chores and thing, we would go in the front porch and sit and just relax. And we realize, hey, something missing, boy. You know, you have all these things, you have all the trees, you have your yard finished, you have your house finished, but something missing, and we knew it was a baby.